Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is an important one. We are going to build the table of contents form. You know that professional setup screen with the vertical tabs you see in every standard module? That is exactly what we are building today. So remember in video 9, we created that parameter table. We added fields like warranty days to store our configuration. But right now we have a problem. Even though the table exists, there is no place in the system where a user can actually go in and edit those values. So today we will fix that. We are going to build the main parameters form for our module, giving users a single place to manage all those settings. Microsoft calls this the table of contents pattern. You have definitely seen it before. Think about the general ledger or AR setup screens. It is the standard way to handle settings in the system. So the IT manager or functional consultant can open this form, go to the general tab, configure the warranty days for standard and gold customers, maybe go to the number sequences tab and manage all those settings in one place. Alright, let me walk you through what we're going to do. First, we create the form and apply the table of contents pattern. Then we add our data source, build the tabs with the proper structure, implement the singleton creation logic, create a menu item, and finally add it to the D365 navigation. Okay, let's get started. I have Visual Studio open with the BIC customer management project. Okay, so let's start with phase 1 and create our form. I'll right click on the project, then select add and then new item. So the add new item wizard opens up and here we'll expand the Dynamics 365 items on the left. Under that, I'll select user interface and then click on form. Now for the name, I'll type BICWarrantyParameters. We usually keep this the same as a table name, just a common convention. Once that is typed in, I'll go ahead and click the add button. Alright. So the form is created and the designer is open. Now here is the important part. We actually need to apply that table of contents pattern we were talking about. I'll right click on the design node at the top and select apply pattern. In the list, I'll choose table of contents. Now notice the design node update. It now says pattern table of contents. And if you look down at the bottom pattern tab, you'll see a red box here. That is the missing element the pattern is looking for, which is exactly what we need to build next. Okay. So now that we have the pattern set up, let's move on to phase 2 and add our data source. We need to link that table we built, the BICWarrantyParameters table, directly to this form. In the Solution Explorer, I'll just go up to the search bar and type the table name BICWarrantyParameters. There it is under the tables node. Now I'll just drag that and drop it right onto the data sources node in our form designer. Okay. So the data source is added and since it is already selected, I am just going to move over to the properties window in the bottom right and start scrolling down. Let's see. We're looking for one specific property here. It is this one called InsertIfEmpty. By default, it is yes, but I'm going to set it to no. The reason is simple. We want to control exactly when the record is created using our code rather than letting the form do it automatically. Okay. Now I'll go back up and click on the design node. I'll head over to the properties window on the right and let me scroll up a bit. Here it is, the caption property. I'll just click in here and type warranty parameters. This is what the user will actually see in the title bar when the form opens. While I'm still on the design node, let me scroll down a bit in the properties. We need to find the style property. By default, it is set to auto, but I'll change this to table of contents to match our pattern. Next, I need to create the tab container. So I'll right click on the design node, select new, scroll down the list a bit and select tab. Then over in the properties, I'll rename this to main tab. Now that we have our main tab container, phase 3 is about adding the actual content. We do this by creating tab pages. Inside that main tab, we need two of them, one for general settings and one for number sequences. Okay, so let's get those two tab pages created. I'll just right click on our main tab container and select new tab page. And then I'll just do that one more time. Right click and select new tab page again. And there we go. We've created both of them just like that. Now let's go ahead and select that first tab page we just created. I'll head over to the properties window and first I am going to change the name to tab page general and then let me scroll all the way back up to the top here and I'll update the caption property to general. Next, I'll click to select the second tab page. I'll go back into the properties and update the name to tab number sec. Then again, I'll just scroll back up to the top of the property list and enter number sequences for the caption. Now check this out. At the bottom, I'll click on the preview tab. You can see both tab pages, general and number sequences are clearly visible on the left. Even though they're empty, the vertical structure is already working. Okay, let's go back to the designer by clicking pattern. I'll click on our first tab page general. In the pattern tab below, you can see two missing nodes encircled in red boxes. The first one is the title group that is just for the section header. The second one is just a generic group. That is the content group where we'll actually put our fields. So with our general tab page selected, we can see those missing nodes. To fix this, I am going to add two groups here. First, I'll right click on the tab page general, select new, and then click on group. And since we need two of them, I'll just do that again. Right click, select new, and then group. There we go. Now we have both groups added. All right. So let me select that first group we just added. I'll head over to the properties window and I'll go ahead and change the name to tab general title. Now, if you look at the pattern view below, you can see it is asking for a table of contents page main title, specifically a static text control. So inside our new group, I'll right click, select new, then we'll scroll down a bit and finally click on static text. Over in the properties, I'll first name this tab general main title. Then I'll scroll all the way back up to the top of the list. Right here under appearance, we have the text property. I'll just change that to general. Now for the second group, notice that next to the name it says pattern unspecified. We need to fix that. So I'll right click on it, select apply pattern and choose custom. This gives us a bit more freedom with the layout without strict rules. Now let's switch over to the number sequence tab. Just like the general tab, this one needs two groups as well. So I'll right click on the tab page, select new and then click on group. And let's do that one more time. Right click again, select new and then group. Now we have our two groups ready for the number sequences. Okay, let's get our naming sorted out. I'll select the first group and rename it to tab number sec title. And while we're at it, let's select the second group and rename that one to tab number sec content. Just so everything is clean and consistent. Now back to the first group, you can see it is missing that static text for the title. So I'll right click on the group, select new and choose static text. I'll give this control a name, tab number sec main title. And then I'll scroll all the way up to the top, locate the text property under appearance and set it to number sequences. Now let's head over to that second group, the content group. I'll right click on it, select apply pattern and then I'll click on custom. We won't be adding any fields to the number sequence tab for this demo, but it is important to have the structure set up and ready to go. All right. So the form structure is complete. Now let's add the data to our general tab over in the data sources on the left. Under warranty parameters table, I'll expand the fields node. From there, I'll select both BICWarrantyDaysGold and standard, and I'll just drag and drop them right into our content group. Okay, let's take a quick look at how this is shaping up. I'll click on the preview tab at the bottom, and there we go. We can see the general title, and our two warranty day fields are sitting there perfectly. Now, we need to handle that singleton logic we talked about. So back in the designer, I'll go to the form methods node, right click, select override. And let me just scroll down this list a bit. Here it is, init. I'll click on that. That opens up the X++ code editor. You can see the default init method here. I'll just select this block and paste in my prepared code. Let's quickly walk through this. First, we declare a variable for the table, BICWarrantyParameters. Then we try to select the first record if rec ID is empty, meaning no record exists. We use ttsbegin and ttscommit to insert a new one with a default key of 0. This ensures the user always has a record to edit. Alright, that brings us to phase 5, the menu item. You might be wondering, why do we need this? Well, in D365, you can't just open a form directly. You need a menu item to act as the bridge. It is basically the clickable button that tells the system which form to launch. So let's create it. I'll right click on the project, go to add and select new item. In the wizard under user interface, I'll select display menu item. Let's name it BICWarrantyParameters and finally click add. Now with the menu item selected, let's set a few properties. First, I'll update the label to warranty parameters. Then I'll scroll down to find the object type. As you can see, object type is already set to form, which is correct. And for the object property itself, I'll click the drop down, search for our BICWarrantyParameters form and select it. Alright, phase 6 now. Here is where things get interesting. We have our form and our menu item, but we need a place to put them. We aren't just going to hack this into an existing menu. Randomly, we're going to create our own dedicated warranty management menu. This keeps our module clean and organized. Instead of burying our settings deep inside another module, we'll have a top level container for all things warranty related. So the plan is, first, we create the menu object itself. Then to make it visible in the main navigation bar, we'll extend the system's main menu and plug our new menu into it. Alright, we are back in the Visual Studio. I'll right click on the project, select add and then new item. In the wizard, I'll select menu under the user interface. For the name, I'll type BIC Warranty Management and then we'll just click on add. With the menu created, I'll head over to the properties window. I'll find the label property and update it to warranty management. So users see a friendly name. Now for the structure, I'll right click on the menu, go to new and select submenu. Then over in the properties, I'll scroll down a bit to find the name and rename it to setup. Now I'll scroll up in the properties to find the label and I'll update it to setup. This ensures the user sees the correct text in the menu. Next, we'll make the form accessible. I'll drag our BICWarrantyParameters menu item from the project and drop it into this new setup submenu. Now when a user clicks warranty parameters under setup, it will open our form. Now here is the catch. We created a menu, but it is not plugged in anywhere. If we don't connect it to the system's main menu, it won't appear in the front-end navigation. So that is our next step, extending the main menu. To do that, we need to find the main menu in the Application Explorer. So I'll go to View and click on Application Explorer. I'll expand User Interface, then expand Menus. I'll click on any element here and just type main on my keyboard, and there we go. It jumps right to the main menu record. So I'll just right click on it and create extension. This adds the extension object to our project. I can see it here in the Solution Explorer. I'll double click it to open it in the designer. Now, with the main menu element selected, I'll right click, select new, and then choose menu reference. This adds a new element at the very bottom. So under the properties, I'll name this new reference BIC Warranty Management. Then for the menu name property, I'll click the drop down and start typing our menu name, BIC Warranty Management. I'll search for it, and when it appears, I'll just click on it to select it. With everything done, it is time to build. I'll right click on the project and select build. We need to make sure everything compiles correctly. I'll just wait a few seconds for this to finish, and great, build completed. Alright, we are done with the build. Now the only thing left is testing. We'll do this in two parts. First, we'll test it internally using the menu item directly, and then we'll do a full test in the front-end application. So let's start with the internal test. I'll right click on our BIC Warranty Parameters display menu item, select Set as Startup Object, and then at the top, I'll click Start without debugging. So it will start the build again. So we'll wait for a few seconds. Okay, I can see the Edge browser opening and it is flashing in the taskbar below. I'll click on it to bring it up. We'll wait for the page to load. And there it is, our table of contents form with the two vertical tabs, General and Number Sequence. So as expected, we can see the General tab contains the two parameters we have defined and the number sequence is empty. Now let's move on to the actual testing in the app. I'll close this window, open Edge again, and click on the OneBox environment link to go to the home page. Once the page is loaded, I'll click on the three dots at the top left corner to open the navigation. Then I'll expand modules and scroll all the way down to the bottom, since that is where our new menu should be. And there we see a main menu called Warranty Management. I'll click on it, and under the setup group, we have Warranty Parameters. I'll click on it to open our form. And here it is. We can see the two vertical tabs on the left. The General tab contains our standard and gold warranty day fields. And if I click on number sequences, it is empty, just as we expected. Alright. So to recap what we accomplished today, we started with just a backend table, and now we have a fully professional accessible setup screen. We built the warranty parameters form using the table of contents pattern, handling all the vertical tab styling automatically. We also wrote the initialization logic to automatically create that singleton record, so the user never sees an empty form. And finally, we created the menu and extended the main menu to make it all discoverable. In the next video, video 12, we are going to dive into table relations and cascade delete actions. These are absolutely critical for keeping our data clean and consistent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.